Welcome to Living by Oak Values. My friend Gary, the Superior Mailman, and I will guide you through aligning your actions with your core beliefs. We are excited to share our stories, our insights, and values that guide our lives. Whether you're a long-time listener or just new here, welcome. Visit Northman Coaching for your free toolbox and updates. Let's dive in. Happy listening. How was that?
That was wonderful, Rob. So, today let's talk about branding and rebranding and who we are. So we are Northman Coaching. Correct? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
This is Living by Oak Values, and I am Superior Mailman.
This is Living by Oak Values podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are Northman Coaching. This is the Living by Oak Values podcast, and I am the Superior Mailman. Today we're going to talk about branding Superior Mailman becoming part of us. We're going to set the vision and set the intention. Okay?
All right.
Should I keep reading my notes, or should I? What do you want to do with that? You want to ask me a question about that?
Not yet. Keep going.
Okay. So as far as setting our intentions, I thought, and I don't know if you thought the same, but I think a lot of people think that there is a gap between doing what you want and getting it done. But the gap really is only about your beliefs and your skills. So really, there is no gap in skills. There's a gap in certainty. Do you have certainty that you can do what you want to do? You know that you have the skill set.
Yes.
We know that we have the skill set.
Yes.
So we have to be certain. That's what our next step is. We know that we have the skill set. Now we have to figure out, are we certain? Do we have enough certainty to move forward with this?
I don't think we do, but I think we need to do it anyways.
And that's exactly what I'm about to get at. That we have the certainty, we have the skills, but we have to do it, and we're going to screw this up.
Mm-hmm.
But screwing up is real. If you don't screw up in life, then you haven't lived your life. Every single lesson that we've been taught and we've learned from has roots of being a mistake, roots of some kind of fall down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you agree or disagree, but that is where I'm at.
All right.
And I think that we, as a team, you individually and myself individually, have been enough this whole entire time.
So, where are you leading us with that?
I'm leading you.
Okay.
This is not for the listeners. They can listen in, but this is for me and you. I think that I know we've had discussions on what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you have your strengths and I have my strengths, but I'm just leading this as almost like just a pep talk.
Mm.
I want you to know that I know that there is no gap between skills and certainty, that we are on par for exactly what we want to do. We just need to step into the arena.
Mm.
We have everything. We have all the weapons and all the tools that we need to win this. But if we don't enter the fight, we'll never really know.
Okay. And so what tool sets are we going to need?
They're already within us. The ability to have faith in ourselves, the ability to be vulnerable and authentic without worrying about what others are thinking. Mm. So as we make our first mistake, because we will,
mm-hmm.
we need to be able to move past that and be okay. More so myself, I think, because I think that I get very hard on myself when I make a mistake. And then I tend to shut down sometimes, but I do what I can to continue to move forward, because I know that there is no gap. And there was something that I said to you last night, and I have to find it. Okay. Do you recall what I said to you last night about logic?
You didn't write it down, did you?
I have it. It's in my notes, but I have
Oh,
18 pages of notes.
um, you says logic was,
This fear disguises itself.
nope, that was not it. Logic was, it was something with fear, but it was, okay. Logic is fear disguised as reason.
How did you find that?
Because I'm awesome, brother.
But where the hell is it in my notes? See, this is where I start to shut down.
Uh-huh. So what that captures is the idea that we are being logical is actually we're just wearing a mask of fear and attempting to stay safe, avoid risk, uncertainty, and disguising it as rational thinking. I'm being
Yes.
realistic. I'm scared of this because we're going to fail. That doesn't make sense when it's just uncomfortable or vulnerable. Let's wait until the timing is better. Well, that is when fear is like stalling the action. Did I take the thunder from your sails?
No, you actually said it perfectly because you were right. We can sit here and wait till a better
Mm,
time. We talked about this earlier. Let's wait till after our trip.
yeah.
Because
So,
go ahead.
how are we going to stay motivated?
Well, there is no motivation. Motivation is a
Mm,
joke.
oh,
We have discipline.
discipline. I like that.
Discipline is stronger than motivation any day of the week. Motivation is that desire in the morning to get up and go for a run. And discipline is that need to get up and go for a run. You don't feel like it today, but you're going to do it because you're disciplined.
Hmm.
The military runs on discipline. If the military ran on motivation, where would we be? I'm not motivated to go fight today, but you're
Hmm.
trained to be disciplined. So it's not motivation that's going to get us where we're going. It's being disciplined. And it's holding yourself and each other accountable.
All right. So we're doing all these podcasts
Yes.
and we're rebranding.
We're not
It's not rebranding.
we're not
We're
rebranding. We are so we attempted to reintroduce ourselves a month or so ago. But we hadn't changed anything. We just so pretty much we started this, we just did it. And then we introduced ourselves 6, 7, 8 months into it.
mhm.
But now we want to so it's a slight rebrand because we're bringing in the Superior Mailman.
Or it could be like a brand evolution.
Ooh, yes, it is a brand evolution.
Mm.
Let's
Can I
have a.
take credit for thinking about that? Because I
Yeah,
didn't.
I'll give you the credit since I stole your credit earlier.
I did chat. I was like, what's another name for rebranding? So I was like, a
What was it? What
brand
was it? Brand what?
brand evolution.
Let's have a revolution for the evolution.
Yes.
So we are going to bring in the Superior Mailman.
Hmm.
And the other reason why we're doing this is because we want not just the clients, but we want our community to know, number one, we want to help. And if people need help and they can't afford help, they can come and listen to our podcast. They can join our men's group. They can watch all of our videos, all of our content on our website that we post on social media.
We're on the topic of rebranding. Well,
Brand
branding
evolution.
evolution, right?
Yes.
All right. So why did you decide now to do it?
Because Craig Siegel inspired me and lit a fire in my behind side.
All right. Tell us about that. Tell us that story. why you said, "Hey, Robert, we need to up our brand."
All right. So I said, hey, Robert, we need to up our brand because about a month or so ago, I read an incredible book. It was called The Reinvention Formula by Craig Siegel.
Mhm.
And then I recommended it to you, and you read the book as well. And we've listened to a few of his podcasts and stuff like that. And he is very inspiring. And he had this class that I took yesterday on branding and rebranding. And the nuggets that I took out of that were incredible. But also, I realized that the foundation or the stones or the pillars or whatever you want to call it that you need to grow into what you want to be, we have them.
Mm.
We have everything that we need to grow.
Hmm.
We just put it together. So we have the foundation to build a house here, to build a mansion. The foundation is here. So is all the wood and the nails and the screws and everything we need, but it's in a pile.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's put together properly, it will be incredible. And together, I know that because of our foundation, we can easily put that together.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I've been made aware that we have what we need, I am ready.
So I have one recommendation.
Sure.
We need to build this house in South Carolina because the taxes are way cheaper than Rhode Island.
All right, let's get one more thing clear. I will never build anything in Rhode Island.
Uh, uh, yes. Okay. So we're building this house,
Yes,
Northman
it's a
Coaching
mansion. It's a
House.
mansion. It's a mansion. It's
Yeah.
a palace.
No, no, no. A hacienda.
It's a hacienda. It's an open air hacienda.
Yeah.
We don't even need a freaking roof. So
S-
go ahead. Go ahead.
So give the listeners an idea of what this house should look like. If they were looking at the inside out, what would this house look like?
That is up to them.
Oh, it's up to them.
That house can look however it wants to look because it's going to look different to me and to you. But whatever it looks like to us, that's what it is, and that's fine.
But
We're
we're
not going to,
ones building the house.
yeah, and we're
The
building it for
how,
ourselves.
the how, and I'm saying give the listeners an idea of what our vision of this house should look like.
It is going to be strong and sturdy. It will be able to withstand anything. It will be consistent. I don't know. Now I'm trying to explain us versus a house.
I
But
know, but you also sound like one of those three little pigs that tried to say, "Oh, I'm going to build my house out of straw. I'm going to build my house out of sticks, and I'm going to build my house out of bricks."
well, I think that it'd be I would call it bricks then because I think our house was built out of what were the three pigs again? Straw and what else?
Sticks and bricks.
I think we were straw and sticks with a
Uh,
good amount of mud to hold it together.
yeah.
And that's what we were doing. We were holding it together. And I think the one thing that we had, the one true thing that we had was consistency
Hmm.
and the ability for us to grow. Now we're going to take our consistency and what we've learned along the way, and we're going to take the sticks and the hay or whatever it was, the mud, and we're going to mix it with the brick. And we are going to build a strong house that will not only hold us, but it will also hold anybody that wants to go in this journey with us.
Hmm.
And as it fills up, we will add more rooms. We will add more space.
All right. So here is a perfect part. How do listeners say, "Hey, I want to join this journey with Robert and the mailman Gary"?
How about the Superior Mailman?
Superior Mailman. So I got to get that out of my. Anyways, so how do I join these two crazy guys on this journey? Where do I go? Where do I find them? Where do I sign up? How do I get onto the episode?
Well, that's easy. All you do is go to Northman Coaching, and you have no responsibility to join us. We don't expect you to join us right off the bat. Watch what we've done. Watch our past episodes. Watch our growth.
Mm.
Listen to our listen because you can't watch our first episode.
Yes.
Listen to our last episode because you
Our
still can't watch that one.
50 episodes.
The last one we just did.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Listen to the ones in between and see and hear our growth. Go to YouTube. You can watch or listen to the podcast there. You can see all the videos and the shorts right there. We'll go to our website. You can see the men's group. You can join the men's group. You can just attend one men's group. You don't have to be there, all of them. And if you like what you see, if you feel the love, the welcoming, the strength, then by all means, join. It costs nothing to be a member with us.
Well, it also costs nothing for you to come back and listen to us every Friday.
Sure.
For the 30 minutes to an hour that we do this show.
Yep. The only thing it costs you is time.
Mm.
And if you don't have that time, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you can find that time, I think that is a valuable investment to anybody.
Mm.
Even if you take one little nugget. And, speaking of nuggets and what I got from this class on rebranding yesterday, a lot of the stuff that I learned yesterday is, and you called me out, and so is my girlfriend called me out, but a lot of this I already know.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's spit out in a different way, people pick up differently. And for some reason, a lot of the stuff that I heard yesterday, I've heard it before. But yesterday it hit and it stuck because I realized there was no gap between what I know and what I can do. It's just a matter of discipline and getting in the arena. I think given the opportunity or lack of opportunity, I would sit outside that arena for my whole life saying, I could do this. I could do that. And as I lie on my deathbed, I'll be saying I should have done that.
Sounds like regret.
It is regret. And regret is, I think, actually what we learned yesterday is the worst punishment or pain in the world.
Mm.
You could beat me physically all day long. I will heal. Maybe not 100%, depends on how bad you go at me, but regret of not doing something, you can never get that time back. So the regret of not taking action is something that you really can't make up for.
Mm.
I mean, I could say that I regret not taking action when I was 30 to be the man I want to be, but I did not know who that man was.
Yeah.
When I was 30, we're talking 17 years ago, I had no idea that my mission in life was going to be to help you while you help me, and together we help others.
Yeah.
In fact, if somebody told me that, I would have laughed.
I would have too. Yeah.
I would have absolutely laughed in their face because you know what? I had my life figured out. I knew my values.
Mm.
What were the values? I don't know.
Well, you knew a set of values that nobody set you down and asked you and worked through it and said, hey, this is value ABC. Do you understand what it means?
Right. So when I was 30, I said I had values, but I said it because it's the right thing to say.
Mm.
Like good morning and good night and whatever. It's the right thing to say to somebody in the morning and at night.
Yeah.
So yes, I had values. Did not know what they were. So in reality, I really didn't have values. I was under the impression that I had values. So here we are, but get out of the past. 17 years later, here we are. And if you cannot afford to spend 30 minutes to 1 hour with us a week, well, then I'm sorry for you. I truly am.
So, we're working on this house, building it piece by piece.
In South Carolina.
Yeah, the cheap place to live. This is the first episode. but tell people what they're going to expect the next episodes coming along. Because we're doing this as a live event, and we're going to start doing more live events every
Yes.
Tuesday at what, 7 Eastern time?
Between
And
6 and 7,
then
we'll nail that down.
we're just going to take the audio and push it out on Friday, just like a
Okay.
normal Living by Oak Value podcast.
So what you can expect. All right. So for the people that do tune in right now to our Friday podcast, they can expect pretty much the same thing they've been getting. Great stories about triumphs and tributes. Is that the right word? Tribute, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Ups and downs, how we overcame, how we use our values and boundaries and lessons learned in life to overcome, conquer, and succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people that will tune in on Tuesdays, they are going to get a treat of the most raw, unedited, authentic versions of you and I. They will hear my mouth run off the occasional F bomb or curse word. They will hear your occasional hiccup.
Mm-hmm.
They will see your dog or a cat or whatever it is run through that back room over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not promising that's going to happen, but there's a good shot that it's going to happen. That ghostly door I see on your other side is going to swing open occasionally.
Yeah.
And that's like, because they are going to see that we are not perfect, that we are not superhuman, that we are no better than any one of those, anybody that listens to us or gets coached by us. We are no better. We just have experiences and knowledge that we want to share. And the listeners that are, getting involved with the live episodes, they might have something to share with us.
Yeah.
In fact,
Well, that's the other benefit for Tuesday is that the listeners will be able to interact with us.
Yes. And we're making it, I think we should do it 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. And that's going to pretty much, unless you're working a night shift. But if you are working a normal day job, you should, I hope that you'll be home from work. I hope that I'm home from work. Hopefully I'm done with dinner and whatnot. And that's it. You'll have time to unwind, spend your Tuesdays with us.
Yeah.
And hopefully that can fire you up to get you through the rest of the week.
Yeah.
And also it will give listeners the opportunity to interact with us, like you had said, and possibly get a spot on the show.
So the one quote, and I'm pulling it back up from a previous session, is "Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire."
Okay.
By Jennifer Lee. What episode was that from?
Say it again.
Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. That's what we're doing. Wow, very good.
Can't mess with this one. Can't mess with this guy. I almost cursed. I almost said something bad.
Very good. Because that's what we're having to do. We're having to set a goal for our new passion.
I think the better quote is the one I said in my Way of the Superior Mailman video yesterday. And I don't know who said it originally, but it is "Be yourself because everybody else is already taken." In fact, it might be Henry Ford, actually.
Yeah. I think it was.
I think it was, actually. And that's your boy.
I think we've said that a few times already.
We actually have said that. It's either him or Gene Wilder. And moments like this are what you're going to get. Looking stuff up.
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde. I meant Gene. I said Gene Wilde.
Yeah.
Whatever. I knew it was one of those wild guys.
Yeah. No one does it like you do.
So, another thing I got yesterday that part of this is I have heard before. In fact, I've heard it probably on my first coaching session ever with Dennis Collins was you have to kill, grieve, and Shed your old identity. We need to stop waiting for permission and do this. And that's why we're going live. Because we have been waiting for, let's be honest for now. What have we said to each other the last 3 or 4 times we brought this up? We need to work on making no mistakes. We need to, we have so much editing involved that it will be even harder if we're going live. We make way too many mistakes to go live. Those are all the excuses that we were looking for, and we win because we found the excuses that we were looking for. Now let's find the reason that those excuses are not real. Because the last time I checked, I'm a human being. And I make mistakes. I'm pretty sure you're right there next to me, and we can make them together, and we can let the whole world see how we make mistakes. But instead of getting mad and kicking stuff and getting frustrated, we can show them how we overcome.
Look at you, brother. I'm glad we're recording this because
Me too.
Nobody's ever going to believe you were that smart.
I'm trying to channel my inner Craig.
I can tell. Dang.
So, yes.
All right.
Oh, I found it. Excuses disguise themselves as logic.
That's what it was. Excuses.
Goya.
Excuses.
Excuses disguise themselves as logic. Goya, get off your ass. Are you willing to bet on yourself?
Yep.
So you want to know something?
What?
I'm going to the casino that we just built. And I'm betting all I have on me. Oh, there's going to be a casino in this house that we're building, in this hacienda.
Okay.
Where we bet on ourselves. There'll be no poker. There'll be no slots. Just us. And we're going all in.
All in.
All in.
All right.
And the last thing I'm going to say, not the last thing, but next thing I'm going to say on that topic, what I got yesterday is we are going to let the listeners hear our real story, not just the highlights. We are going to show the process that we went through, or talk about that process, and not just the results. We didn't have our hearts broken yesterday and our families ripped apart, and today we're coaching. There has been a long, hard, painful process. And one thing that I learned yesterday, or I heard yesterday, that's true, that I knew but I couldn't put into words was, you can't see the finish line when you're going through the fire. But you must go through the fire to get to the other side and learn the lessons to not have to go through that fire again. You could walk around that fire to find that finish line, but your lesson would not have been learned, and you will find yourself right back into a different fire pretty fucking quickly. I probably shouldn't have cursed, but I did. But I'm passionate about that. You have to walk through that fire. You have to feel that pain, that burn. The burn leads to learn. You like that one, huh?
Yeah. All right. So,
and on that note, we need to let people see our challenges and how we overcame them. How did we get through that fire? I know your story. I know you struggled far more than I did. I believe you did.
All this pain might have shaped who we were, but it doesn't really get to decide who we become.
No, not at all.
And so part of this process of transforming our podcast into a live event is that we're shedding and burning and becoming something different.
Yes.
We're shedding the old to serve a better purpose, to help us serve other people better, so they can put a face to the voices.
Dude, I'm glad you're recording it, because yes. Although one thing you just said, though, you said that our pain doesn't shape who we are.
Well, it does. It did shape.
It doesn't determine who we are.
Yeah, determine. Yeah.
It influences, but We determine who we are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could have both rolled over and died.
Yeah.
We could have both been still begging for our wives to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could have accepted the chosen path. The universe put us together for a reason. I mean, the more that I get into this work with you, the more I realize there is a reason that we were both in that fitness class with Dennis and Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you right now, I promise you, I guarantee on my life, it was not to eat that lentil barbecue.
That was some interesting stuff. That's for sure. Never had it before. Don't know.
Never had it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% positive that there was a deeper reason than lentil barbecue.
Yeah.
But I am so thankful because shortly after that thing started, we were in Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
And now, but a year after that, we were in Mexico.
Yeah.
2 years later, we are killing it. We are growing. We are moving. But it's time, like you said, to shed and change.
Yeah.
Because now it's time to put a face to the name. People can connect with us and see who we are.
All right, folks. And that's a wrap. Thanks for hanging out with us today on Living by Oak Values. If you love what you heard, hit the subscribe button and stick around for more inspiring conversations. Got thoughts? Want to dive deeper? Well, guess what? You get to do it live Tuesday nights. Share your stories or snag a free session on our website, northmancoaching.com. And if you got a story worth sharing, if you have a story worth sharing, be a guest on the show, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and join us next week for another inspiring episode. Until then, keep embracing your values and stay authentic. Boom.
We're going to have no problem. We will have no problem with this.
We had a rough start. And
what?
that was, let's say we had 10-minute rough start. So that was 30 minutes.
Okay.
So
we had a rough start. That was practice.
Yeah.
But also, I think maybe with the ending, what do you say at the end again?
I use a regular ending.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging with us today on Living by Oak Values. If you love what you heard, hit the subscribe button and stick around for more inspiration.
Stop right there. If you love what you heard, stick around, yada, yada, yada. Check out the Superior Mailman.
Or
the Superior Mailman.
Also, check out the
Superior Mailman and tune in next week or whatever.
Superior Mailman and see what Gary is talking about.
See what we're talking about. It doesn't need me. It's not about me. It's about us and the Superior Mailman.
Got thoughts or want to dive deeper? Share your story or snag a free session on our website,